peanut brittle, or some people call it praline nut brittle, nut brittle, and some people even call it a nut cluster. It's not technically a nut cluster, but you know what, doesn't matter what you call it, it's absolutely delicious. I'm going to show you how to make this praline nut brittle. Got a few simple ingredients over here by the stove. It's very easy, very quick to make, and you know what, it's a great idea for a little Halloween treat. So first thing we need to do, we've got a non-stick baking tray here. It's about 11 inches by 7 inches wide, probably about 1 inch deep. And what we need to do is to get, I'm going to use some silicone paper just to stop it sticking. You could probably get away with it, to be honest, without putting anything in it, but I'm just going to use a bit of this stuff just to be on the safe side. And we can set that aside for later on. So back to our ingredients, okay? We've got a handful of ingredients down here, starting off with 225 grams of good old white sugar. I'll put the rest of the ingredients up on the screen for you to take a look at while we get our pan on the stove. So with our ingredients all ready to go, it's a very simple process to get this together, okay? But it's got to be hot and it's got to be fast. Now I'm using peanuts here, okay? Got about 110 grams or so there of salted peanuts. But you know what? You can use any kind of nut you like. I've used pistachio nuts for my last batch, and I've got to be honest, they're really delicious. But obviously you're going to have to shell these, but the taste is really good. These are from the cashew nut family, and they give a lovely taste. I've also done it with almond flakes. Now an almond flake brittle, wow, that was so tasty, but I love the taste of almonds anyway. So like I said, don't think that you have to stick to peanuts, because you don't. You can use any kind of nut you like within reason, but I would recommend any one of those three that I've just suggested. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to get our heat under this pan, get our sugar, our water and our salt in there, and get that caramelizing. And once you've got your sugar and your water in the pan, get yourself half a teaspoon of salt on top of that. Mix it all together. You should start to see some results pretty quickly, okay? The sugar will go through a few stages, a few phases. What it'll do is it'll start to sort of melt up first of all, okay, but keep stirring it all of the time to stop any lumps forming. So what you're going to notice, once this has melted, it's going to start to change colour, okay? It's going to start to go an amber colour. Once it's got an amber colour, that's your time to add the rest of your ingredients. You want to get this to a temperature of around about 370 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 190 odd degrees centigrade. Okay, it needs to get to that temperature for it to start changing colour. And you're going to have to be quick off the mark to get this next lot of ingredients in there, because this is going to go, and it's going to go quick. And you want to be careful not to burn this, okay? So once it's gone a nice light amber colour, just like this one has now, you want to get it off that heat, okay? Get it off the heat and get the other ingredients in there. So you're going to want 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract, get that in. Get your butter in there. Then lastly, put half a teaspoon of bicarb in there. Watch it, it's going to fizz. As that bubbles up, throw your nuts in and mix it. And what you want now is you want this to change colour again. You want it to froth up and go a darker amber. Looks beautiful. Don't burn it, but get it nice and brown. And then whack it in that tray that you prepped earlier and let it set. Make sure you spread that out nice and evenly so those nuts are evenly spread. And as that cools down, you'll notice it's a nice dark. I've not gone for a light colour on purpose because the less you cook it, the more likely, the less it's going to last, and it's going to become sticky quite quickly. So if you cook it just a little bit further than you think you might need to, it's going to last longer. It's going to stay crispy, brittly, and it's going to taste delicious. It's not going to stick together. So that's why I've cooked it just a little bit further than you might have thought I was going to. Enjoy peanut brittle. So good.